Good evening. We're going to get started. How's everyone? Nobody fell on the ice? Not here. Good evening. I'd like to bring the March 15, 2017 meeting of the Interboro Board, School Board of Directors. May we have roll call? Mrs. Caldwell?
Ms. Boyle? Mr. Chavone?
Here.
Mr. McGarvey?
Here.
Mr. Phelps?
Here.
Mr. Evans?
Here.
Mr. Eckert? Mr. Burns?
Here.
Mrs. DiBattista? Here. Mr. Harris?
Here. Mr. Burns, may we have the invocation and pledge of allegiance, please?
Heavenly Father, please hear our prayer. Bless all schools, colleges, and especially the Interboro School District, and grant to this board in their deliberations this evening the spirit of wisdom, truth, and knowledge. What is undertaken always be done in charity and in peace, and what we do might be for the benefit of others. All this we ask in your name, amen. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just to make a note, Mr. Eckert is now present. Moving right along, can I have student reports from Katie and Ariana, please?
From the Kindergarten Academy, thanks to your generosity, the kindergarten donated over 300 canned goods for Loaves and Fishes Pantry for the 100th Day Food Drive. Families and friends watched students march to their 100-day hats and vests. Thank you to all who participated.
On February 7th, Glen Olden held the Minding Your Mind Assembly for 7th graders. Also on February 7th, the 8th grade class held a fundraiser at Chick-fil-A for their dance. Career Day will be held March 29th at 9:05 to 11:30 and 12:30 to 1.
From Prospect Park, in February, the 8th graders visited the National Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C. They were also offered a chance to trade their Positive, Productive, and Proud P-Bucks for prizes in the school shop.
Norwood 1st and 2nd graders had their 100th day celebration, a visit from Cavity Busters, and went to see a play on Jackie Robinson in Wilmington at the Grand Theater. Norwood Home and School held their Me and My Guy dance on February 11th. All girls and dates seemed to enjoy the night.
From Tinicum School, on February 10th, Tinicum's annual bingo night was held. Over 300 people attended. All payment helped Home and School, Student Council, and the National Kidney Foundation. On February 28th, the Battle of the Boroughs was held. This year's winners were from Prospect and Tinicum. Congratulations to all.
On February 3rd, Student Council hosted a 7th and 8th grade dance benefiting MiniThon, which is April 7th. The Region F conference was held February 21st at Neshaminy High School. Stuco kids from Norwood and the high school went. Congratulations to the girls basketball team for being Co-Dalville champs. On the 21st and the 25th, or through the 25th, the band went to Disney World for the 20th time, led by Field Commander Colin Comney, Drum Majors Lauren Oster and Brenna Malloy, Color Guard Captains Taylor Stewart and Emma Billingsley. The trip is already being planned for 2018 with stops in Virginia, Georgia, and Orlando. Thanks for our parents for chaperoning and supporting the band. This concludes our report.
Thank you, Ariana and Katie and Ariana, sorry. You think I'd know you guys by now. Moving right along, recognition, Mrs. Riley.
Thank you. At this time, I would like to turn the mic over to Mr. Johnston, who will be recognizing Miss Hannah Knaus, who is the 2017 Outstanding Young Music Educator recipient for the state. Come on up, Hannah.
So it's my privilege to actually thank Ms. Riley for explaining what this is going to be about. And I want to make sure you get this right because this is important for you to understand. So Ms. Knaus, who was selected to the PMEA, which is Pennsylvania Music Educators Association Outstanding Educator of the Year. Okay, the Pennsylvania Music Educators Association is a statewide nonprofit organization of over 4,500 members dedicated to promoting the musical development of all Pennsylvanians. Okay, this is a major accomplishment. it's really neat that at the high school level, being the building principal, to acknowledge our teachers that go above and beyond what they do just inside the classroom. But I think it's more important that you get to hear from our most valuable asset, and that's our students. Okay? So I would like to invite Kevin Reeder and Ms. Oster to come on down now so you can hear the impact that you've had on your students. Lauren, you want to go first?
Okay. So our old choir teacher, Miss Bowe, actually contacted me and asked me to write a letter of recommendation for Miss Canals, which I gladly accepted because she is the best. And if anybody deserves this award, it's definitely her. She's been really great over the past 3 years, and we love her. I'm gonna miss you next year.
Hey, Ms. Canals. So Ms. Bowe also contacted me, and of course I immediately accepted it, especially because you also wrote me a recommendation letter to all my colleges. If there's any teacher who deserved this, it would be you. You are by far, I know you did. The way you've gone above and beyond everything that you had to do in the classroom, but to help me when not even just in music, but especially when it came to singing and personal issues, I don't think you know how much you affected me throughout my 3 years that I've been with you in high school. And if there was any way that I could thank you for that, I was very willing to do it. And I'm glad that the PMEA and the school board and everybody else gets to see how much of an impact you have, not only in music, but in people's personal lives as well. So congratulations.
These are flowers for you.
On behalf of the board and the administration, I would like to congratulate Hannah on this achievement. I've known Hannah for a number of years, and the work that she has done here in Interboro has really enhanced our music and our choral program. And I have seen the work and how our students have improved over these last few years, and they are doing some amazing work there. So thank you for representing our district so well and for really bringing some new initiatives with our students to enhance our choral and our music program. Hannah, thank you so much, and congratulations on this amazing award.
Moving on right along, Mr. Burns, public comment.
Just one person tonight, President Harris, Ms. Phyllis Floyd.
Good evening, Phyllis Floyd, 604 14th Avenue, Prospect Park. I'm going to do something a little different this time. I want to commend each and every board member for the way they are diligently working together and trying to come up with a budget that is almost next to impossible this year. Serving on the board for quite a few years, I know what you're going through, and I know what's ahead of you. And you're going to have to make decisions that are going to be difficult. And I'll keep you in my prayers and hope that you continue to work together and always keep not just the taxpayer, but the primary reason you're on this board is the students and their education. So I'd like to thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Floyd. Mr. Burns, number 5, please.
Number 5, minutes. Motion 5.1, motion that the following minutes of the regular meeting of the Interboro Board of School Directors held on February 15, 2017 be approved.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Any questions or comments from the board, please? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 8-0. Number 6, please.
Thank Thank you, Mr. Harris. This month, our office has been consulting with the district on special education issues, policy review, and right-to-know requests. Thank you.
Thank you. Number 7, Mr. Burns.
Number 7, financial, I'll read each motion, and then we can collectively second if necessary. Financial, 7.1, motion that the treasurer's report for the month ending February 28th, 2017 be approved. 7.2, motion that the fund disbursements in the amount of $3,422,890.18 be approved. And motion 7.3, that the motion that the budget transfers for the fiscal year of 2016 to 2017 be approved.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Any questions or comments from the board? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 8-0. Number 8.
There's no correspondence this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Burns. Moving on to number 9, committee reports. Finance, Mr. McGarvey.
Yes, Mr. President. The finance meeting met Monday, March 6, 2017. Some of the highlights of the meeting are, number 1, for March 2017, the current deficit is at $1.8 million. The superintendent and finance director, in conjunction with district administrators, will be conducting budget meetings throughout the month as the budget process continues. To date, the PlanCon state subsidy for respective construction debt payments are not making progress. This means that if the state does not budget for these subsidy payments, then the district will not be able to budget approximately $350,000 in state revenue. There were reductions in 2 areas of the budget expenditures, however. The DCIU special education budget saw a decrease of $63,000, and the debt service budget saw a decrease of $51,000. Which are the final numbers that were obtained based on the sale of the 2017 general obligation bonds for the Glen Olden HVAC project. This resulted in a total decrease of $114,000. The district's bond rating went from a AA- to an A+. The change in rating means that the district needed to go out and get bond insurance for the latest issuance of general obligation bonds for the Glen Olden HVAC project. This insurance cost will spread out over the life of the debt. And that concludes my finance report.
Thank you, Mr. McGarvey.
You're welcome.
GBO, Mrs. Boyle is absent, so we'll have that for you next month. Moving on to legislation, Mr. Burns.
Just a couple of things I want to highlight. One of them is going to be redundant because you hear it probably every month from me. But first, there's some major legislation federally that we need to pay attention to. House Bill 610 right now is would be a complete shift in the way the education system works, and it would essentially repeal the Elementary and Secondary Education Act of 1965, limit the authority of the Department of Education, and introduce school vouchers, which is just a radical departure from what we're all accustomed to. Essentially, each state would then be responsible for distributing their own block grants for funding. And if you recall, each month I talk about Senate Bill 76, which is a local, well, not local, it's a bill from in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and that's to eliminate the property tax. If both of these pieces of legislation move forward, you're going to have a drastic departure from what we're all accustomed to, not just in terms of how the education system works, but how it's financed. I don't really delve into Senate Bill 76 because it's still just sort of a concept that's floating out there, but it's a real threat. We discuss it each and every month on another board that I sit on because if property taxes are repealed, the money has to come from somewhere, and one of the things they discuss is taxing legal services. So right now, just a couple things to keep in mind. Essentially, there's a 2-year phase out. If the property taxes are repealed, there's a 2-year phase out on those property taxes, but the school districts would still be responsible for long-term debt. So any bonds that we have here in the Interboro School District would still be our responsibility. But essentially, it would eliminate not only the local tax, but for those debts and a few other caveats, but also would take the authority away from us, the school board, as a whole in terms of our taxing responsibility. So it's something that we're certainly discussing right now. As Ms. Floyd had brought up, we're coming up on another budget, a very difficult one, but this could be a radical departure from what we're all used to in terms of that process. And then finally, just another piece of federal legislation, which is introduced by Representative Meehan, just regarding the rent assistance payments and how municipalities deal with the debts from landlords and Section 8 tenants. And there's also been some discussion with Senator Tom McGarrigle about adopting this in the Commonwealth as well. So this is some new legislation that's out there levying Section 8 landlords for delinquent taxes. It's certainly an important funding component for us as revenue that we're entitled to and we don't always receive. And I want to commend both of those lawmakers for their efforts in that, and I'll certainly be giving updates as it moves forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Burns. Delaware County Community College, Mr. McGarvey.
Yes, Mr. President. There's no report this month for the Liaison Committee. However, the next meeting, which I will be attending, is scheduled for March 29th at 7 p.m. at the main campus.
Thank you, Mr. McGarvey.
Yep.
Delaware County Intermediate Unit, that would be by myself. Here we go. The Delaware County Intermediate Unit Board of Directors met on March 1st, 2017. Congratulations to Danina Mosley on her new position as Director of the DCIU Early Head Start Program. Approved is the 2017-2018 Intermediate Unit General Operational Budget. Approved the 2017-18 Special Education Budget. Approved the 2017-18 Delaware County Technical Schools Budget. Approved an agreement with Arthur J. Gallagher to provide benefits consulting services. Acceptance of 8 Delaware County educational funding grants. And approval of contract with Chester Upland School District for the DCIU to conduct a search for the next superintendent. For more news and information, go to dciu.org. Thank you. Mr. Burns, may we have the next agenda, number 10? Oh, I'm sorry, one other thing. Student reps, you are excused. Thank you so much. Mr. Burns, number 10, please.
Whereas the following matters are presented for action by the Interboro Board of School Directors, therefore be it, number 10, personnel, motion that the following personnel actions be approved, 10.1 through 10.11.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Any question or comments from the board, please? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 8-0. Next motion, Mr. Burns.
Number 11, under retirement, motion with regret that the following retirement be accepted. 11.1, that the Board of School Directors approve Cheryl Dorsch, Title I reading, paraprofessional with 19 years of service to the district for retirement, taking effect on March 3rd, 2017.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Any questions or comments from the board?
Can I say something?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. I would just like to wish Cheryl a great retirement. I've known Cheryl for many years from my time at Tinicum School, and she has been an incredible asset to the Title I program and has really supported our students at the Tinicum School. She will be greatly missed, and I know that Tinicum School will be sad to see her go. So on behalf of the district, I wish Cheryl the best in her retirement, and we will miss her. Thank you.
Any other comments? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes 8-0. Number 12, Mr. Burns.
Office of Curriculum and Instruction, motion that the following items be approved, 12.1 through 12.5.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Any questions or comments from the board? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 8-0. Next motion, Mr. Burns.
Number 13, Office of Special Education and Pupil Services, motion that the following items be approved, 13.1 and 13.2.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Any questions or comments from the board? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 8-0. Next motion, Mr. Burns.
Number 14, Office of Finance, motion that the following items be approved, 14.1 through 14.4.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Any questions from the board? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 8-0. Number 15, Mr. Burns.
This is a roll call motion. Motion that the Board of School Directors approve the purchase of the 9th grade History Alive World Connections textbook from TCI in the amount of $26,170 to be paid from Keystone to Opportunity Grant funds.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. May we have a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Chavone?
Yes.
Mr. McGarvey?
Yes.
Mr. Phelps?
Yes.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Eckert?
Yes.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Mrs. DeBattista? Yes. Mr. Harris?
Yes. Motion passes 8-0. Next motion, number 16, Mr. Burns.
This is also a roll call motion. Motion that the Board of School Directors approve the general operating budget of the Delaware County Intermediate Unit for the fiscal year July 1st, 2017 through June 30th, 2018 in the amount of $8,787,320. Interboro School District's share is a cost of $37,380.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. May we have a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Chavone?
Yes.
Mr. McGarvey?
Yes.
Mr. Phelps?
Yes.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Eckert?
Yes.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Mrs. DeBattista? Yes. Mr. Harris?
Yes. Motion passes 8-0. Number 17, Mr. Burns.
This is also a roll call motion. Motion that the Board of School Directors approve the general operating budget of the Delaware County Area Vocational Technical School for the fiscal year July 1st, 2017 through June 30th, 2018, in the amount of $13,226,055. Interboro School District share is $1,110,602.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Any questions or comments?
Just a quick comment, Mr. Harris.
Mr. Chavone.
After analyzing the budget for that, I do like the fact that the Interboro School District sends a lot of students to this program, so I think it is a very beneficial program for Interboro students, and I appreciate all the help that they provide for us.
Thank you, Mr. Chavone. This is a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Chavone?
Yes.
Mr. McGarvey?
Yes.
Mr. Phelps?
Yes.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Eckert?
Yes.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Mrs. DeBattista? Yes. Mr. Harris?
Yes. Motion approves 8-0. Number 18, Mr. Burns.
This is also a roll call motion. Motion that the Board of School Directors approve the Delaware County Intermediate Unit Special Education Funding and Service Agreement for 2017-2018. Interboro School District share is $658,918.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Any questions or comments from the board? Hearing none, this is a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Chavone?
Yes.
Mr. McGarvey?
Yes.
Mr. Phelps?
Yes.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Eckert?
Yes.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Mrs. DeBattista? Yes. Mr. Harris?
Yes. Motion passes 8-0. I'd like to circle back to motion 15 and 16. I forgot to ask if was there any comments from the board on 15 and 16? Thank you. Mr. Burns, number 19.
Motion that the Board of School Directors approve the revision of the following policy in the category of finances. Number 600, finances, 611, purchases budgeted.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Any questions or comments from the board? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 8-0. Number 20, Mr. Burns.
Motion that the Board of School Directors approve the first reading of the following policy in the category of community. Number 900, community, 913.1, advertising and other commercial activity on school property.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Any questions or comments from the board? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 8-0. Old business. Any old business? Going once, going twice? Gone. New business. You have some? Mrs. Riley, please.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. The high school Four Diamonds MiniThon is happening here on Friday, April 7th from 5 to 12 a.m. The high school has set a goal to raise $12,000, and so far, they have raised approximately $2,200 for pediatric cancer. If you would like to make a donation and support this worthy cause, there is a link from the district website that will take you right to the high school's page. On March 25th, from 10 to 12 noon, the district will be hosting a pre-K literacy fair at the Kindergarten Academy. All children ages 3 to 5 that reside in the district are invited to attend with a parent or guardian. The theme this year is Poetry in the Park. If you are interested in attending, please visit the website for information. And I would like to thank the high school for their artwork this evening. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Rye. I also have another comment. There is a countywide spelling bee at the IU on Saturday, March 18th, 2017, starting at 9 a.m., and I think we have someone attending that.
We do. We have a few students participating.
Okay, so if you get a chance to come out to that, it's on Yale Street. Come out and check that out. Do we have any other comments or announcements from the superintendent?
That's it. Thank you.
Board members, any comments?
Comment?
Mr. Evans.
I'll try to keep and breathe. There's a couple items I wanted to touch on. I wanted to thank the curriculum department for being so proactive and always trying to get the best and newest material, learning materials for our students. The new program for history is more interactive. It even has such current items as the Arab Spring in there. I remember when I went to school, history was written by the victors, and it wasn't always that accurate. So I really appreciate all the curriculum department does to keep our kids up to speed with what's really going on in the world. I'd also like to, again, recognize Hannah Knaus. I've enjoyed watching her expand and challenge our music students further to do more and better things, so she definitely deserves the recognition she received. And last but not least, I'd like to piggyback on what Mr. Burns said about pending legislation. If the Elementary Education Act does change, it also includes not No Child Left Behind, but it would essentially do away with the requirement for spec ed, mainstreaming, and other things that many of our students take advantage of today, including our gifted programs, AP scholars, and things like that. There is so much wrapped up into that one bill that you really, really need to pay attention to it, and if necessary, don't hesitate to write your legislators about it. All right, because it will certainly change the landscape of education, may even do away with the board. So, I mean, ultimately, if it did away with the taxation, you probably wouldn't need a board to levy it or provide a budget. So just pay attention to what's going on federally as well as at the state level. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Evans. Any other comment, please?
Comment.
Mr. Chavone.
I would just like to commend the facilities department for getting our schools up and running today and making sure that the sidewalks were safe for all of our kids. Great job.
We didn't even have to have a 2-hour delay. Thank you, George, and your staff. Any other comment from the board? We good? Alrighty, on Monday, April 3rd, 2017, a Finance Committee meeting with a GBO meeting immediately following will be held at 7 p.m. at the boardroom in the Administration Building. The next work session of the Interboro School Board Directors will be convened at the boardroom at the Administration Building on Tuesday, note the difference, Tuesday, April 18th at 7 p.m. The next regular scheduled public meeting for the Interboro School Board Directors will be convening at the Multipurpose Kindergarten Academy, not here at the Kindergarten Academy, on Wednesday, April 19th, due to the play. Make sure you come out and see the play. What's the play? Little Shop of Horrors, I believe,
Yes,
right?
Little Shop of
Little Shop of Horrors. Make sure you come out and see that because we'll be at the Kindergarten Academy. With that, this meeting's adjourned. Have a wonderful evening.
We are making a difference.
We are changing the world.
We are MiniThon.
Students volunteer their time to raise money for kids who are fighting pediatric cancer.
Sometimes it's an all-night long thing, or maybe it's 6 hours.
We're always moving, we're up on our feet.
We have sports tournaments. We have DJ all night to keep us all pumped up.
What we're doing right now will have a lasting impact on children with pediatric cancer.
MiniThon taught me community service, school pride,
leadership skills.
That I can make a difference.
That I can change the world.
We won't stop
until we conquer
childhood cancer.
We are making a difference.
We are
Making a difference. We are changing the world.
Changing the world. We are MiniThon.
We are
MiniThon.
We are MiniThon.
A MiniThon is an event which we bring together the community. Students volunteer their time to raise money for kids who are fighting pediatric cancer.
It's a lot of things. It's all about the kids. That's always at the forefront of our minds, just kind of trying to help out the kids.
Sometimes it's an all night long thing, or maybe it's 6 hours.
We're always moving, we're up on our feet, there's no sitting.
And we have sports tournaments. We have like basketball, dodgeball, soccer.
We have DJ all night, keep the music going to keep us all pumped up.
Or we spend the year doing fundraisers in order to raise money. That way, for this one night event, we can raise as much as possible and get as many people involved.
You cannot not have fun at our MiniThon, and we're really proud of that.
The money all goes to the Four Diamonds Fund.
Four Diamonds helps kids with pediatric cancer. It helps their families pay for things that their insurance doesn't cover.
And a lot of the money also goes out to research to help find a cure.
It feels really great knowing that what we're doing right now will have a lasting impact on children with pediatric cancer throughout the next 100 years.
I think it's very important for students to be involved and give back to the community, and it's important for them to realize that they can make a difference with other people who are battling such a horrible disease.
The education value, it's invaluable because you're learning about how to give back, you're learning how to run a giant event like a MiniThon is. It's hands-on. They're organizing, they're making things happen. We have fun doing it, we laugh together, we cry together. It's a very valuable time.
When it first started, it mostly was high schools, and now it's in elementary schools with kids that are aged 5 to 11. Even though you're a kindergartner, there's a lot of things that you can do to help other people.
One of the most rewarding things for me as a teacher isn't even what I do in the classroom. It's become this. This event for us has really become probably the biggest source of school spirit that we have.
This event is really one in which really forces them to look beyond their own individual world, and it really makes them more compassionate and really better people.
MiniThon taught me community service.
Community service.
School pride.
School pride.
Leadership skills.
MiniThon taught me the ability to be selfless.
To help other kids.
The importance of helping out when you can.
MiniThon taught me
To give back.
To give
Back.
MiniThon taught me to be thankful for what I have.
That I can make a difference.
that I can change the world.
I do believe that one day they're gonna find a cure for cancer, and just to step back and realize that I had a small part in that. Anyone can have a small part in that, and that's really why I'm MiniThon.
For the kids.
For the cure.
We won't stop.
We won't stop
We won't stop
until we conquer childhood cancer.
Until we conquer childhood cancer.
Conquer childhood cancer.
Lane was born in August 2005, and he was a beautiful, healthy baby.
Interception! I like sports. I like to ride my bike. Woohoo!
Lane is a very intelligent kid, very caring.
Yeah! I like playing with my brothers. I like playing cars. Interception!
4 days before his first birthday, we found out he had a Wilms tumor, a pediatric kidney cancer.
My name is Lane Berger, and I had cancer when I was 2.
I just remember on the way home, I really think that it sunk in, and I started to feel like this was going to be a very rough road for us.
I don't feel like I ever had cancer, but my mom said I did.
Started out with surgery, had his left kidney removed, and then chemotherapy and 7 days of radiation.
Lane went through conventional chemotherapy, but unfortunately, his tumor came back.
The cancer had just continued to grow.
Options were running out for him.
Tammy was faced with making this impossible decision. Did she take Lane home to die or to try a new therapy to see if we could trigger an immune response against Lane's Wilms tumor?
And that involved using umbilical stem cells that would fight the cancer cells where his own immune system failed.
This had not been tried in any other child in the United States. It is a very high-risk procedure.
I feel sad because some people don't survive cancer. I had a friend who had cancer and he died.
Nine years out, he's cancer-free. It's amazing.
As you can see, Lane is effervescent and he is running around like a normal, healthy little boy. I find the patients and their families so inspiring.
How many lives have been touched by one hospital?
It's awesome seeing him be able to do stuff like this and came so far.
What? The research that they do to help these children is amazing. Not just my son. It could be your son next day. It could be my son's son someday. And it feels good to be part of a family like that.
It's stories like Lane's that inspires me to do the job that I do. Children from all over the world will benefit from the research we do here at Penn State Children's Hospital.
Doctors and nurses at the Penn State Children's Hospital are always trying to find new ways to cure cancer.
At Penn State Children's Hospital, we deliver hope.
We're so blessed. I'm so glad having Lane here. He's an amazing kid.
My name's Lane Berger and I'm a cancer survivor.